Welcome, Instagramly and friends. This is Talented Tuesdays. I appreciate you all for tuning in. My name is QuiySpeaks, aka Mr. 215-305, aka Mr. Cheney. We have our lovely guest Shanae Roberts over here, who's going to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about where she's from and why she's here. All yours.
All right. Well, I'm Shanae Roberts. I'm on the show today because I am in the process of opening a dance school.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, how did you end up in Miami, and just a little fun fact about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm originally from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Went to school in Westchester, graduated with an accounting degree. Decided accounting wasn't for me. I worked a year in the insurance business after graduating. And once I realized that I could make my own decisions and move where I wanted to move, and I didn't have to voluntarily be cold, I decided to move. Yeah.
And you and I are both like the same because we were in school around the same time, and we both were talking about how we were accounting majors.
Yeah.
And then like going into the field, it was just so exhausting and so draining. Like I too didn't like accounting either. So again, Shanae, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're on the show. Just some housekeeping rules for anybody just tuning in, the people who tune in. You know, the comment section, feel free to leave a comment, drop some questions, anything that you feel as though I missed Shanae, you can ask her anytime you want. Also, make sure you keep that comment section crystal clear, positive, keep the negativity out of there. We want everybody to feel comfortable with sharing their opinions and their thoughts. But without further ado, we're going to kick the show on the road for our first question. Got my notepad right here. So, Shanae, we are going to ask you, what were your experiences growing up in Harrisburg, and how would you say that influenced your passion for dance?
Okay. I couldn't dance as a child. I couldn't dance because I believed that I couldn't dance. I had a family member, I had a cousin that lived in Philadelphia, and we lived in Harrisburg, and we would go see them every year over the summer. Mm-hmm. And everyone would always be in awe of my cousin because she could dance. And I tried dancing one day, my dreams were quickly shut down, and in my mind I thought I couldn't dance, so I didn't dance as a child. So I didn't realize that I could dance until I became an adult. Mm-hmm. And that's when my mind started to change. Right. That's when I started to just think things differently in general. The more confidence I possessed resulted in me doing different things. Mm-hmm. And the confidence that I started to gain resulted in me learning how to dance. Mm-hmm.
And like just the more confident you are, the better you perform. You know, you ever hear the expression, you look good, you feel good, you play good?
Yes.
It applies to everything, not just sports, because our coaches would always say that. But then when I started to learn life and I'm starting to go about life and taking tests and things like that, if I look good going to the classroom, if I felt good, felt confident about taking the test, I did well. But if I went in there like, I don't know how this test about to work out, and I didn't get enough sleep, and I just went into class looking like a slob, that test was definitely not a good test. So I just say that to say this, it definitely applies to everything. You look good, you feel good, you play good.
I agree.
So I remember you telling me that you were self-taught. Yes. So that answers the question where you learned to dance, but how did you teach yourself how to dance? Did you do a lot of just watching videos? How did you experiment? How did you teach yourself how to dance?
So it all happened when I took a trip to the Dominican Republic. From my experience, they are very Spanish in general, dance heavy culture. So that's all we did the entire vacation. And with them, I felt like I could be myself. No one was judging me based off of how I was moving or how I looked or if I did something the wrong way or if I accidentally stepped the wrong way. Elbowed someone. No one judged you based on that. You could just be free. And because of that, that's when I realized that when I didn't care what people thought, when I was just free and who I was, my body moved as if it was free. My body had a mind of its own and it just moved. And I realized I could dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back home after vacation, and I hung out with Spanish fraternities on campus, and all they did was dance. So every opportunity that I got to hang out with them or go to a party that they were tied to, I would go because I know that I was able to dance, I was able to practice my dance, and no one would care, no one would judge me.
Right.
And it just, every opportunity that I had to dance, like I'll be dancing in the kitchen, I'll practice a move, I'll see someone in a video do something that I like and I'll just practice it. I would just practice.
Just practice.
Every chance I get.
Practice makes perfect.
Anytime music comes on.
But nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect. Practice makes progression.
So tell us a little bit about the GreenMile Dance Academy, and tell us why the Green Mile. What does the Green Mile mean to you, and where did this name come from?
So we talked about this a little bit, but have you ever seen the movie The Green Mile?
I haven't, but just, real quick, just tell our audience a little bit about what the Green Mile is.
Okay, so The Green Mile is a movie that I watched when I was younger. It's about, it's a sad story, but it's about this guy that has this ability to take people's illnesses or whatever they were experiencing that caused them discomfort into his body and release it. So they no longer felt the illness or they no longer had the disease because he took it into himself, but he felt it only momentarily. Then he was able to release it. And I remember as a kid watching that movie, just thinking, how amazing would it be to have the ability to take that pain away from my mom growing up and watching the things that she went through. How amazing would it be to take that pain from her, take it into my own body, that way I could relate to what she was going through, and then I could release it so she wouldn't have to feel it anymore. How amazing would that be to take it from my friends or any of my family members? And I would always say, man, if I could have any ability, it would be able to heal people in that way. So when I started thinking about what I was going to do career-wise, how I was going to do my own thing, because I always knew that I wasn't, or I couldn't work for another person. I couldn't build another person's vision, knowing that I had my own vision, knowing that I had my own capabilities. So one night I'm going to bed, I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and the GreenMile Dance Academy pops in my head. So I get up and I write it down, and then I go to sleep. The next morning I wake up and I'm looking at the GreenMile Dance Academy, and I'm like, that's it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a dance school. I'm going to name it the GreenMile Dance Academy because of the powerful message that the movie The Green Mile impacted on me. And yeah, that's how it happened. That's
great. I see we have some new viewers, some new audience members, Tosh.3 and Dr. TJ3. I would like to welcome you all to Talented Tuesdays. If this is your first time, I just want to let you know, the comment section, you can feel free to leave any comments, any questions that you have for Shanae. We're talking about dance and how she got about the GreenMile Dance Academy. So the next question is, you're in the process of trying to open up a studio. Do you have a typical idea as to where in the area you're trying to open a studio with that?
Yeah, so when I do open a physical location, I'm really in love with the Fort Lauderdale area. It's a really nice area. The demographic, it attracts different types of people. So there's this really nice strip in Fort Lauderdale, and it's near a train track, and there are places that you can run out there. So I'm looking to open a physical location in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale is very nice. So I did miss a question. Miss AK85 asked, about what age were you when you first taught yourself to dance?
So I was an adult. I was in college, and I was about 21 when I taught myself how to dance. It's not that I taught myself. It's when I became confident in myself that I realized that I could dance. So the confidence, dancing resulted from the confidence that I gained. And
I think it's important that you learned this as an adult, because a lot of people assume like things like dancing and activities like these, you have to be naturally you have to be naturally skilled and at a young age. And we oftentimes forget that not everybody's on the same schedule as we are.
Exactly.
So someone could become a CEO at a firm at the age of 56 after they've been working for who knows how long just to get to that position, where someone else might have started their own business at 25. So like, you're not on everybody else's time. Just because someone else may have, just for this show, I'm going to use the word succeed, even though I don't really like that word. Even though someone else may succeed in something at one age, does not mean that you have to succeed in it at that same age, whether it's something that you are interested in or not.
I agree.
So I think that's important. So welcome, Watch Line Lose and the Real Meek. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Talent Tuesdays. Look forward to hearing some of y'all questions. But for right now, the next question is, where is your mind right now? Because you have a lot going on, and you did tell us about one part of your mindset was, not wanting to build someone else's vision when you have a vision of your own. Elaborate on that a little bit more, and then tell us a little bit more about where your mind is at in terms of the Green Mile.
Okay. So I have the opportunity, or I've been blessed with an opportunity to work very close to people that own their own businesses. I have 2 jobs, and at both jobs, I'm able to interact directly with the person that created it.
Right.
And just seeing them in their environment, seeing the energy that they possess, seeing how excited they are to come to work, seeing that they have a vision and they know where they want to take things, and they bring people along on their vision. And seeing, I work at a restaurant, and the person that started the restaurant 5 years ago, and he has 6 restaurants now, and they're big. He's really creating a name for himself, and he's a younger guy. He's 32 years old. So seeing him and working so closely with him is like, well, if he could do it, why couldn't I do it?
Right.
5 years ago, there were many restaurants. For him to sit down and think, I'm going to open a restaurant, and for him to know that he was going to succeed, or regardless if he knew he was going to succeed or not, if he fell, he learned something. If he didn't fail, he is where he is now. So to see someone walk in that journey, it's like, why do I think I'm so different from him that I couldn't walk in that same journey on my
right own? And I challenge you all to ask yourself the same question. If they can do it, why can't you do it? And you'll find that there's no real answer to that. There's no reason why you can't do anything that you want to do. So, Yeah. So okay. So why a studio, and why not just private sessions?
Because I want to have a large platform. So because I'm in the beginning process of the GreenMile Dance Academy, it's going to start off as one-on-one sessions or 1 or 2 small group sessions where I will come to the people personally and teach them. But I want that to grow. I want that to grow into a greater scale, because I want to touch more people. It's more than dancing for me.
Right.
It's more than dancing. It's really about the confidence that a person has inside. It's really about the belief system that they have. I found that once I started looking outside of myself for answers, that answers started to come to me. Once I started to look inside of myself, and I only started to look inside of myself when I started to believe in myself.
Right.
When I believed that I had the answers, then answers came. But when I thought that I didn't have answers, and I was going to this person and that person and this person and that person, I found myself really unhappy. So the GreenMile Dance Academy is, you'll dance, you'll have fun, it's a great workout, you'll learn some cool moves, you can dance at a wedding, you can dance at a family reunion, you can use these moves for whatever you're going to use them for, but the main purpose is confidence, believing in yourself. Because that's what, real quick, I watch a lot of videos, a lot of motivational videos, a lot of people just talking about how they went about their journeys and their process. And in one of the videos, one of the things that really stood out to me is that, I kind of forgot.
No, it's all good.
I'm really nervous. But,
you want to come back to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so because we have a question, that's why.
Okay.
So one of the questions is there any specific age group that you're targeting that you would like to work with?
I want to work with all age groups, but I specifically want to target children because they're the more impressionable. They're most impressionable. They haven't been necessarily tainted by the world. They haven't been told, The only way a child knows they can't do something is if someone says you can't do it.
You can't do that, right?
The only way the adults know that they can't do something is because you've been told.
Trial and error. It's like trial and error, but most because we've been told so much that we can't do something and we believe it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that you can succeed if your whole life you believe you can't do something.
Exactly.
Right.
So I want to target children specifically because I feel like I'll be able to get through to children.
Mm-hmm.
And children listen. They're like sponges. They want to listen. They want to learn. And if you tell a child that they can do it, they can do it, and they'll do it with no limitations. But again, I want to work with all ages. I want to work with older people. My family lives in a 55 and older community.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of people that don't have visitors come. They don't really get outside of their homes, and they're retired and they're just kind of alone. So I want to target older people that want to exercise. I want to move a little bit. That want to get out socially and interact with other people, because their lives aren't over.
Mm-hmm. And you can do like Zumba nights, stuff like that. That's a good idea. So, how did you? Okay, if you could collab with one dancer, who would it be?
That's such a good question. I never even thought about it. If I could collab with one dance, Chris Brown, hands down.
I figured you were going to say Chris Brown.
I appreciate the fact that Chris Brown dances in every single video.
Mm-hmm.
Every single video he does.
And he also includes other dancers in his videos as well.
Yes.
Like, he's a dancer, so it's like all his videos, if he's not dancing, he has a bunch of impressionable teens that are doing the latest dance, and he has them in his videos dancing as well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris Brown, I figured you were going to say Chris Brown.
I don't even know why I thought about it.
Mm-hmm. So do you have any advice to anyone who may be embarrassed to dance?
Yeah. There was this little girl at a school that I used to teach at. And we were doing the Wii game and the Michael Jackson one where everyone dances. Mm-hmm. And we were killing it. Like, we're all hitting every move to the T, getting all the points, right? And this little girl was kind of off to the side. She's looking at everybody, but you can tell she wants to dance, but she doesn't want to dance. So I go over and I'm like, come on, let's dance. And she's like, no, I can't dance. I'm like, you can dance, don't worry. So I started doing a goofy dance. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want. And I'm just doing anything. And I'm literally saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. So the little girl jumps in and she goes, I'm going to do whatever I want. And she starts doing anything. So everyone stops doing what they're doing on the Wii to do whatever they wanted to do. Right. So my advice to anybody for anything in life is do what you want to do. The only person's opinion that matters is yourself. The only person that truly is judging you is yourself. Most people don't care. So do what you want. Just believe in yourself.
We got some funny comments in here. I'm a little more old school, so I like Usher. But Chris Brown is all right. Clap, clap. Love me some Usher. We got some Usher fans in here. Usher is a good dancer. I say Usher even kind of set the tone for Chris Brown. In terms of like being he included dances in his videos so much. There was a lot of dancers before Chris Brown. Obviously, you got Janet, of course, Michael, but they, in terms of like how they did it, Chris Brown definitely on another wave with it. So I still appreciate Chris Brown though. So how did you find yourself being from Harrisburg? How did you find yourself in Miami now wanting to teach dance?
Miami possesses a very entrepreneurial spirit. A lot of people here, from what I've noticed, a lot of people here, they're entrepreneurs. They own their own businesses. I've never been able to work so closely with business owners before. And I don't know if it's because I'm in a different stage of my life in general and my mind's just a little more expanded. But from what I've seen, a lot of people do their own thing. So when I moved down here, it's just the energy you feel as soon as you move down here. It's nothing for me to talk to 5 people a day and they all have their own businesses.
That kind of relates back to the episode 2 episodes ago. We had Alexis Brown. She was talking about how Miami can be a cold city, and I think it has something to do with that entrepreneurial energy that Miami possesses, because a lot of times people who are so entrepreneurial set in the mind, they're also what's the word that I'm looking for? But they tend to basically it's every man for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's like entrepreneurial mindset, but you got a lot of people who don't want to do collaborations, who kind of just want to stay off to themselves and just do what they want to do and keep it at that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, do you also feel that vibe as well, or
I do.
You do?
I do feel that vibe, so I can agree to what she's saying. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first started to work on my idea and really, really grow it, I was like, oh no, I can't tell anyone because I don't know why I can't tell them. They're gonna take my idea. They're gonna, I don't know, take the name of this.
And it's like I'm guilty as well of having that thought process. But it's like also we were told closed mouths don't get fed. Right. So why do we automatically assume, if I shut up about my idea, I'm going to be better off? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like if we talk more about, like the more you talk about it, the more you meet people that can maybe help. The more you even meet people that may even like try to like shut your idea down, but they're only reinforcing your idea even more. So it's like, regardless, it can't hurt you by talking about it. Right. Especially if you protect yourself. Like nowadays, like you got people who are. It's so easy for people to form their own LLCs, own nonprofits, their own brand, to where you can protect your name. Mm-hmm. There's really nothing that you can lose by talking about your brand and talking about what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. So I think it's funny because like we're just such a problematic species, period. Like we naturally contradict the things that we say, to contradict the things that we do on a daily basis. But I'm just blabbing. So I want to hear some questions from you guys as well. For Shanae about the GreenMile Dance, whether it's about dance, whether it's about anything. If you want to learn more about Shanae, but I did want to touch on how did you end up in Miami besides the entrepreneurial part. So were you specifically coming down to Miami to be an entrepreneur? What was your journey like before coming to Miami?
So like I said, I graduated with an accounting degree. Mm-hmm. I worked in insurance for a year after I graduated, and originally I was chasing the American dream. Mm-hmm. What people talk about: make a lot of money, buy nice clothes, drive a nice car, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I was chasing the American dream, and after graduating, I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to work a corporate job. I'm going to make a lot of money. I got into a sales position where that was possible for me. Mm-hmm. It was almost like, that was a part of my life that I'm here now. And I didn't like myself because of it. So I decided this isn't for me. Right. It's a great job. I'm helping a lot of people, but I'm really helping people that come from a different background than me. Mm-hmm. We only dealt with certain type of clients, and they were very wealthy, and I couldn't relate to these people. I couldn't relate. So I'm like, I'm helping these people that I can't relate to, when I know for a fact that there are people that look like me, that talk like me, that carry themselves like me, that need help. And it's almost like, that was me, but I'm here now. So I decided that I was going to leave. So I quit the job. And I wanted to do a job that was more impactful, a job that really, really touched people, a job where I could just influence people's lives. And I became a teacher. I became a music teacher when I moved down here. So I had an opportunity to become a music teacher, so that's why I moved down here.
So we have another question from the audience. What types of dancing do you specialize in or hope to specialize in?
So I specialize in hip hop. But I've mentioned my Spanish fraternity leader that I hung out with and how I got started in dancing in general. I love the Spanish culture. I love the way they move, and I love Spanish dance. Mm-hmm. So I hope to specialize in every type of Spanish dance that there is out there. Mm-hmm. And
even so, hip hop, Spanish dance, anything else? Like, basically, I remember you was telling me you kind of want to do it all. You want to learn every type of dance that there is. Yeah. Specifically, when we went to that open mic night, remember that girl Millie who did the
ballet.
It was like ballet, contemporary dance mixed with spoken word. Mm-hmm. That was something so different. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though not even a lot of people are even exposed to that. Like, I don't even know if that's like a real. If I'm still kind of trying to figure out if that's even a real thing, or she coined it. But that was interesting too, and I think that's something that could kind of put two and two together for the people who just know how to dance and they're really good at spoken word, or for the people who really know how to really feel in dance, but they always wanted to try spoken word.
Mm-hmm.
I think the combination of those two alone can be very powerful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when we saw her perform at the open mic night, she definitely caught my eye because I'm like, she took what I was thinking in my head
Mm-hmm.
and put it like on the stage, and that's what I want to do with the GreenMile Dance. I specialize in hip hop. I want to specialize in Spanish, but I definitely want to have ballet. For the older people, I want to have step. That's really popular for people, and it's like I want to learn every type of dance, but I want to incorporate spoken word and the music of today and the music of our past,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like we're kind of drifting away from how the music was in our
Mm-hmm.
past. And spoken word is an extremely powerful way for us to communicate with each other. Pair that with dance, and it's like, boom.
So we have a question from Dr. TJ3 who asks, what is the most difficult style of dance in your opinion?
The most difficult style of dance?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't use words like difficult. You get what I'm saying? It would be a challenge, which is more challenging for me to learn. I don't think any dances are challenging. I feel like you can learn anything. I feel like personally for me, I can learn anything.
That's such a great attitude, because it's like if you're already going, and I get where Shanae is coming from, because if you're already going into from the gate saying, this is a difficult dance style, it's going to take you longer to learn it because you've already told yourself that it's difficult and that you're going to need more practice than you think. Whereas you go, this is going to be easy. Like, I just take it from a step perspective, like learning steps.
Yeah.
Like when you look at a step, you're like, that looks so hard. And it is literally hard. But if you say, I could learn that real fast. That's easy. You find that you learned it a lot easier than the last step, just to figure out that they was the same step.
Yeah.
You just looked at it at different parts.
Yep.
So it's like, I think that's funny. And we have a comment. Hip hop, merengue, salsa, blending all of them.
Blend them all together.
Blend them all together. Is that a comment or a question? If you could elaborate, Miss AK85, on if that's a question, comment, I'm curious. But while she's doing that, what would you say your biggest challenge is in terms of getting the GreenMile Dance Academy started?
My biggest challenge would be me. Because once I started to open up about my idea, as soon as I started to open up, you helped me. As soon as I told you about it, you're like, all right, let's get on logos. Here, I'll send you a few. And I'm like, wow, if I told him sooner, I would have had logos sooner. I would have had business cards sooner.
Right.
I would have had a website sooner.
Right.
And then when I started to open up to people, like I said, I serve over the weekends. When I started to people want to know, why are you serving? What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm actually in the process of doing my own thing. And they're curious to know. As soon as I opened up to people, I got my first 3 clients that way. So my biggest challenge is me. It has always been me.
Congratulations on those 3 clients too.
Thank you.
Are they each private sessions, or are they going to be like a group session?
So they're each private sessions. One's a couple, and another is just one person by themselves. So they're going to be individual.
And they're all willing to learn like hip hop.
They all want to learn hip hop. As soon as I started to talk to them, they're like, well, what do you specialize in? I'm like, hip hop. They're like, the first couple I'm talking to, she's like, well, we're actually looking for a hip hop instructor. Look, she pulls up her email. She's like, emailing her boyfriend, hip hop, have you found a hip hop instructor?
And it's like, what are the odds that you talk to the one person at your restaurant probably that is looking for hip hop instructor?
Exactly.
And you're the hip hop instructor.
I'm like, this is unbelievable, but I believe in the universe. I definitely believe in God aligning things for you when you get over your fear. Everything happens on the other side of fear. And that's what it was for me. Once I got over me, everything started to happen. The second client that I got, again, talking to her, she's like, I wanted to take hip hop because I want to lose weight. I want to use it as a way to work out. And I said, well, what do you know? I teach it.
Wow. And Shanae, y'all don't know, but Shanae is the one who put me on to The Secret. I talked about The Secret on here a couple times. I talked about it on YouTube. But if you can even hear it in her language that she's obviously watched The Secret, it's all about the law of attraction and attracting the things that you truly want for yourself. And I think that's the most important.
Yeah.
So do you have, what advice would you give to people who are also trying to, it doesn't even have to be dance, if they're just trying to start their own thing and trying to branch off and do their own thing, what advice do you have for them to, just get up and do it?
I would advise you to picture yourself doing it. Like, how would it look for you to be the CEO of a company, driving a nice car, parking in your own parking spot? How would it look for you to be a principal of a school? How would it look for you to be a professor of a university? How would that look for you? How would that make you feel? So I would advise you to pretend that you're already it, because you're already it. Even if it hasn't hit you yet, it's coming. So see yourself in the position that you want to be in and live like you're in that position. I don't mean like go ball out of control or anything like that, but I mean carry yourself with that type of confidence. If you want to be a professor or you want to do anything, dress the part, like act the part, talk the part, because you are the part. It just hasn't manifested yet, but it will. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, and that's great. And you're just living it, because I remember like the first time we talked about it, and then you come back and tell us what happened at the restaurant. I'm like, that really happened? Like, it sounds like you just wrote this in a book. And like, you ever seen the Death Note?
No.
So like, the Death Note is like this anime. They turned it into a movie on Netflix, but it's like, this is a more grim version of The Secret. So it's like, this guy, he has a book, and every name that he wrote in that book, the person died. But it was like he was using it to be like a vigilante, and he was like getting rid of like blue collar criminals, white collar criminals, and just writing their names. And he can even get as specific as how they would die and all this other stuff. It's a pretty good show and movie to watch. So I would check it out. But it's like the same thing, like when you were telling me about the universe book, writing things in your universe book, or even picturing things. Is like, the more you picture it, the more you talk about it, the more you write about it, those things start to become a reality.
Yeah.
So we got a whole bunch of comments, questions, thumbs up, The Secret with a winky face, the little what is this emoji? The two hands that go like this. It looks like the hova emoji.
Oh, I'm really anti everything technology, which I'm getting over because of this. So I don't know what that means.
Right. Yeah. You say which I'm getting over because of all this.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, plug yourself in, but I realized Shanae has to start fresh and like make all new social media accounts.
Yeah, I didn't have any social media before this. But Snapchat, I have Snapchat, but I'm not really good at Snapchat. I'm just not really good at technology. But I'm getting there.
You said, but I'm getting there.
I'm getting there.
You will be.
I will be.
Or you can just say you're going to do so well that you can hire a PR person.
Exactly, because that's probably what I need to do.
So, do you see yourself, competing in competitions, or once you get the studio up and running, like maybe having your own version of the Dancing Dolls?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite show. I love that show so much. Bring It, which was another inspiration of mine. But absolutely, I see competing. I see opening up for acts. In college, we did step show performances, and I thought, oh, what a great idea to have children come out and perform before this, and how amped up the crowd would get, or how excited people would be to watch stuff like that. So I definitely want to do competitions. I definitely want to do performances. Yeah.
So what, hold on, I see another comment. Miss AK85 said this is the yes emoji with the
okay,
YAAAASSS. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna start using that. So what other hobbies do you have besides dancing?
I love to read. I love to read with all my heart. Any way that I can learn, any way that I can absorb information, I'm doing it. So that just happens to be reading for me. If I'm not moving, if I'm not dancing, if I'm not listening to music, then I'm reading. And if I'm not reading, then I'm writing. I write poetry. I write stories because, like I said, I'm a firm believer in seeing myself in the position that I want to be in. So I write stories not only about myself, I just write whatever's on my mind.
So when you're sitting in your own zone, you're listening to music, right? Does what kind of influences your dancing, or you just like you listen to it and whatever your body wants to do, you just do?
Yeah, I go with my body.
Really?
I trust my body, and I trust the music. And it's like I'm in my zone when I'm listening to music. I can't even, like, I don't even hear other people. Like, I feel weird when I'm somewhere and the music's not playing. I'm like, whoa, why is there no music on? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm all about it. So when I'm in my zone, I'm in my zone. It's me, it's music, it's my body. And then my body just takes over. It really just does its own thing. And the same for writing. When I'm in my zone, I'm in my zone. When I'm focused on something, whatever I'm focused on takes over.
So we're gonna say everything that we just talked about in terms of, like, you know, the studio and everything like that. Let's say those are short-term goals. What are now that you have all these things established, like the studio and everything like that? What are some of your long-term goals with the GreenMile?
Long-term goals, to take it out of the country. I don't plan on being in the country for too much longer myself. So I want to get it started here because I'm still here. But I want to take it out of the country.
And, like, so when you say take it out of the country, do you mean picking it up and moving it with you, or do you know you still want to keep your satellites here where you started it, and then but still move it internationally?
I want it to become international. So I definitely wanted to. It will become international. It's going to be big here, and then I want to take it to Africa. That's my first. That's my first move, and then wherever else it goes. But I definitely want it to become international because this is what I was going to say earlier when I blinked. But I watch a lot of videos that talk about people. Why do I keep blanking on this?
They talk about people.
I just gotta say it, so I gotta come back to it.
So, what about choreography? This is a question from the audience. What about choreography? Do you enjoy creating moves as much as you like performing? So, do you ever, like, you know, when you're listening to a song, you just let your body do what it do? Do you listen to music and visualize a choreographed move as well?
I see myself doing it. I see myself doing it before I do it. So in my mind, I've already done it, and when someone else sees it, it's already been done in my head. So it already happened. Okay. Did that answer the question?
It did, but it didn't. And I was going to ask if you could elaborate by asking another question. So, like, choreography, like making a routine. Do you see yourself making set routines? Because of course, if you want to have your own version of Dancing Dolls, eventually that comes choreography. The same moves that are being practiced for a set amount of time to create perfection, or quote unquote perfection. Do you see yourself doing choreography to where you can have dance troupes that are doing whole routines to perform in shows and stuff like that?
Yes, absolutely.
And do you enjoy, I guess what Miss AKA 85's question was, do you enjoy choreography more than you would say performing? So what do you enjoy more? Letting your body just move and you just doing that, or do you enjoy the thrill of, you know, visualizing something, practicing a move, keep doing that move until it becomes a whole choreographed routine?
So both. I don't like one more than the other. It's like freestyle rapping, I guess. I freestyle and then I create a rap that I can teach other people and they can rap along with me.
Right.
So I love to freestyle because I do my own thing. I can use my entire body and then I can capture that and I can make it into a rap. I have a niece that I dance with back home, and we're always, it'll start off as a freestyle on her part or on my part, and then we'll bring it together and we'll make a dance. And just to see the excitement in her face, the fact that she knows that she learned something that someone else taught her, it's like, whoa, I can learn that.
And I could do it with them the next time.
Yeah.
I think that's the one of the best things about choreography is teaching someone else how to do something that you already know, and strength is always in numbers. So like when you got 1 and 2 people doing it, it looks nice.
Yeah.
But then when you have 8, 9, 10 people doing it, it's like, wow, this is something totally different.
Yeah.
So did you remember what you were going to say with the seeing people? You're talking about watching videos and seeing people, but then you stop right there.
What were we talking about before that? Because it sparked what I was going to say.
We were talking about what it was in the beginning, and we were talking about one question, but I know you were talking about watching a lot of motivational videos, and then you went back into, you know, just watching a lot of videos, period. You really can't remember?
I really can't remember, but I know I really want to say it, but I cannot remember what it is.
All right, so you're gonna get it.
Yeah. If I remember, I just gotta blurt it out, because when I say that I remember it, that's when it leaves. Because there's so much constantly in my mind.
I exited so I can't see the question, so I gotta turn my head sideways. Or like choreographing something like a stroll for an old school lady Greek. This is a comment. I'm thinking it's a question. Or she said, or would you create something or would you choreograph something like an old school stroll for a lady Greek?
I think it's a rhetorical
question. Yeah, I think it's a rhetorical question. So, would you say? I know you said you want to collab with Chris Brown, but would you say Chris Brown is one of your favorite? Is your favorite dancer also? Who's your favorite dancer?
Chris Brown he is my favorite dancer. I really like the way he moves. I love how he uses his entire body throughout his music videos, and the energy that he brings, and just the excitement. Like, when you dance, there's no way you can be like sad. There's no way you can be mad. There's no way you can be anything other than happy when you're dancing. And I don't know Chris Brown, and I don't know Chris Brown's life, but when I watch him dance, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm happy just watching him dance.
You said I'm happy just watching him dance?
Just watching him dance.
Yo, because it's like, Chris Brown got that same smirk on his face every time he dances too. Like, he'll just
he knows he can dance.
Yeah. Like when you came in singing, have y'all seen Freaky Friday? Like, that's the song that's trending right now, and you got Lil Dicky, the rapper who has no rhythm, and he's dancing with Chris Brown, and he got the same goofy face on as Chris Brown. Like, I just love that video so much. Like, it's a very good video.
Yeah. So
I ask this every week because most of the times you're here.
Okay.
It's the red pill or the blue pill.
Yeah.
And hopefully by answering this question, you even finally figure out what you're gonna
I really hope so.
So you take the red pill and you go forward 10 years, but you have $5 million in your account. You take the blue pill, you go back 10 years, but you know everything that you know now. Which pill would you take?
I would take the blue pill and go back.
You would take the blue pill and go back. Why would you take the blue pill?
Because knowledge is really invaluable. If I knew what I knew now, I would go back and learn so much more. Like, so much more. I was always a studious, academic type of child, but I wouldn't have been that type of person. Knowing that when you self-educate yourself, that's when you truly become educated. It's invaluable, the information that I've learned. So I couldn't fast forward it and have the money, because I can make the money. The money would be easy. I would make the money when I was 10 if I knew what I knew now. I would have already had a dance studio if I knew what I knew now.
You already had, yeah. So if you go back, if you go back 10 years and you know all the things you know now, you moving.
Yeah.
You moving.
And I would have never, the lessons that you learn, I think it's absolutely necessary that you go through life, because each stage of your life teaches you different things. But the lessons that I've learned, like not caring about what people think about me or how they think about me. There's this quote, and it's like, I no longer walk into the room caring if people will like me. Now I go into the room thinking about, do I like them? And that's how I look at life now, because it's like, I don't care.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
And it's funny that you made me think about something that I never even thought about when you go back the 10 years and knowing all the things that you know. I don't think any of us, because I've also said the blue pill, I don't think any of us who said the blue pill considered the things that we know now as the things that we want to do. We only consider the things that we know now as such things like this, like who won the last couple Super Bowls. Well, if I know that, I can just bet on that and make this money. But until you just said that, I didn't truly think, wow, if I go back 10 years and I know everything I know now, that means I can just start TGKF, or I could just do all the things that I wanted to do, that I'm trying to do now. I could just do those things then. I never thought about it on that point of view. I always thought about as like who won this or who did that or what stocks are doing good. Like I thought about it as it was always about monetary. Mm-hmm. I think that's interesting and it would be you to bring to bring that point. So did you figure it out yet?
No. What was the question originally?
First, you know how many questions I didn't ask you?
I know, but
it was, I don't even know what question it was that triggered it. But we do have another question.
Okay.
Whose style of dance do you like better of the females? Aaliyah, Sierra, Beyonce, Janet, or is there someone else that you have in mind?
Sierra.
Sierra?
Yeah, I like dancers. I like...
Fresh boys on the track.